Alright, what's up yins guys? Time for another video. I'm going to tell you a little story here. And this is for everybody, whether you're subscribed to me for any good reasons, or maybe even especially for some of you guys that are lurkers and don't really like me or whatever, or you're kind of, iffy or so-so or whatever. Because I would have a question for you to start out this video too. And if you were put yourself in this position when I tell you this question, okay? It involves stuff that occupations that I used to do, like if you ever did like I did or know anybody who did, like these agencies where they'd send you to custodial and construction jobs in chain of command. They tell you to do something and you do it, end of chain. Like Vin Diesel said, in a thing, movie, if you will, one of those movies. What movie was that? Anyway, yeah. Chain of command, they tell you what to do, you do it. It can be custodial construction. This is a little story. Okay, here's the question. And maybe pause for a second too. I want to see how many of you, if your guess would be right. I'm trying not to laugh while saying this because this is a very interesting experience, true story. Say you and me or you and somebody else, okay? You and somebody else or you and me. We're both at one of these jobs and you were going to should be told what you're going to do, okay? Which would you pick? Okay, and this goes into the story where I have. Anyway, me and this other guy I was with, the boss asked me first, which do you want to do? Do you want to lift and sling heavy 50-pound bags of cement into a machine, or do you want to use the hose? And anyway, and what would you be thinking if somebody says, oh, okay, part of the question would be like, would you think, oh, the 50-pound bags of cement were the harder job, and would you want to be a dick and just say, oh, the hose, you're thinking some water hose, add the cement or something would be the easier job. Well, anyway, I chose the one route to show off a little bit and to be gratified and be a nicer guy at the same time, and I said, all right, I'll sling the 50-pound bags of concrete. I thought I was doing the harder job. I told this story to my partner before. Anyway, I should have put the question better in this video, more organized talking. But anyway, the bags of cement was the easier job. I mean, because I presumed. Anyway, if you got this far in this video, what I'm trying to say, put yourselves in this position. Say, I myself had all kind of experience around different kind of equipment because, industrial jobs and different things like that. And that's the one thing I didn't know, I admit. I figured, I seen cement trucks and I worked on construction jobs, cement trucks. And my first experience throwing the cement into this machine. Anyway, what would you have done if you were in my position? Okay, sorry, I'm trying not to laugh because this is real experience. If it was you in my position, would you think handling a hose would be the easy job and maybe you'd want to be the dick and say, yeah, let so-and-so have the harder job? Well, anyway, if I decide, to make the long story short, I'm laughing because the dude kind of didn't like me after that, and he thought I did it on purpose. So anyway, to tell you this, if you got this far in this video, makes me wonder too, if I decided that I was going to be the dick and think that I was taking the easier job by using the hose. But anyway, like after the job was over, quitting time, I got an earful from the dude, and I really didn't do it on purpose. The dude, I saw the dude in a lot of other job assignments we've done. And he always had something backhanded to say. The dude didn't like me after that, and it wasn't really my fault, honest. But anyway, plus I was raised to, kind of take the harder job. And anyway, you got to wonder, if things can come back and bite you if you decide to be the one to be the dick, and decided I wasn't to be in the dick. I was more like to show off, trying to be a nice guy or whatever, you know what I mean? And there's a part of you too that doesn't want to look like the wimp either. But yeah, if I decided to be the dick or the jerk, reason why I'm saying this too, anybody that had any experiences with this actual equipment or somewhere was around it, they'd probably be laughing and know what I'm talking about all the way. But anyway, what I didn't know, I didn't get to see this hose. There was like a big wide hose coming from the machine. I didn't think nothing of it. But anyway, they'd put pallets, big giant pallets of all these 50-pound bags, and as soon as I had emptied them in the machine, I was to wave one guy down over there and say, hey, I want some more concrete. And that's what I did the rest of the day. And you pace yourself, and you had some prior exercise experience, you know, I mean, you're fine with bags of concrete. But I thought that I was doing somebody a favor and doing the easier, doing the harder I thought I was picking the harder job. And I was taking this one guy's word for it. He never liked me ever after that when I seen him in other job assignments, because he said the hose was a beast. And I just, when I talked about it, I never got around to making a video about this, but I have looked it up on internet and looked up videos on it, because I never actually got to see. I know there was like buildings like being put up and things like that, and evidently this hose was like a beast, like a fire hose or something. I mean, it had some power to it or something, and I was getting a mental picture of what he's saying, but anyway, taking his word for it, it was a bitch to work with, and his day was very long. And me, I dealt with maybe dust being blown into the air because it was a dry day and trucks going by, everything from bobcat trucks and all kind of different things going by and blowing dust all over, buildings going up and everything way somewhere at a location that somewhere in western Pennsylvania, way back somewhere. It'll be a waste of my time telling you where it is, because I'd have to explain it. But anyway, I have to laugh about it because you got to like wonder. It doesn't pay to be the jerk. I mean, I imagine I would have been paying for being the jerk, but actually hearing this guy rant about how hard his job was and all that, and he's looking at me like it was my fault. I didn't know. He said this hose was like a real beast, and I looked it up like later on, but I never got around to making a video about it. This was like a couple years ago or whatever, before the pandemic was going on. But I was doing jobs like that, you know. But yeah, anyway, I learned something, and I don't know if you guys out there would have learned something. There might be somebody out there that knows about this that might be laughing their head off, or even laughing at me and saying, oh, I knew that shit the whole time. But anyway, if you got this far in this video, I'm telling you the story because I really didn't know about. I was experienced with a lot of things, and I didn't get to know. I never knew until I heard about that later. I mean, you don't know everything, and so the way they pour things in there with cement trucks, I've heard of that. I've seen that done, and I didn't know anyway. If you got this far in this video, like I guess the machine that I was putting the bags of cement in, the hose ran from it, and they were using a hose to shoot the cement. I guess the machine mixes it with water somewhere along the line, but evidently got a lot of pressure to it. I looked one up. It's some guy using one because I never got to see it in person. I looked it up in a video, but yeah, I wanted to kind of tell this story without it being too boring and being too sloppy, but because I'm looking back and laughing about it. Excuse me if the video wasn't that great, but Yeah, the way they do it, sometimes they throw it in the machine and they have this powerful hose and they shoot it in there. Never got to actually see it when I was there because they had me where I was. I never got to see it. And I only learned about it when the one other dude was mad at me later. Thought I was the dick. I didn't know. I thought hose, you know. And if I, like I would tell you one more time again, if I decided to be a dick and says, oh yeah, I'll take the easier job up. Because I'm thinking of hose. You know, you don't know what kind of hose, you know, just... But this wasn't no ordinary hose, evidently, and the job that I chose that I thought was harder was actually easier. I was taking his word for it. Well, I didn't, until I looked it up too. I didn't know. I thought maybe he was just being a whimper and being a crybaby or whatever the hell he too. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm still laughing when I'm thinking about it, but yeah. If you got anything out of this video, it does pay to take the harder, what you think is the harder job, and to not be a dick, because if you were in a situation like this and you thought you were going to be a dick, it would have came back on you, and maybe the job you were doing might have been harder. I don't know, you tell me. But anyway, the dude never liked me ever since. But yeah, again, it wasn't my fault, and it's a little tale about how things can go. Don't act out of assumption. You know what I mean? It'll bite you later.